So I am here in Boulder, Colorado, and Stephen is in Canada. So we had to find a way to be on here together, and this is our first time doing this. But welcome today, no matter where you are. I hope that you are well. But welcome to our first real intuition lab today. So today we are talking about body sensations. This whole series is going to be around all of the different ways to connect to your intuition. And today we're talking about body sensations because you're a huge sensing organism, your entire body. So all of the body sensations that you are feeling is information to you. It is constantly reading your environment. And so every sensation that you feel is a message to you. And so today, Stephen and I are going to be sharing some of the experiences personally that we've had with body sensations and how they have helped us make our own decisions and given us information of how we should move forward in certain ways in our life, whether they are positive sensations or negative sensations. And then we'll give you a practice of how to implement that right away in your life so you can start really listening to your body and learning about your own body's language that it is speaking to you on a regular basis. So if you hear music in the background, Stephen is in a hotel in Canada and they were not willing to turn off the music. So bear with us.
Music courtesy of the Hilton Hotel in Niagara Falls. So it's still not as loud as the Niagara Falls themselves. So we can hear each other.
Perfect. So I wanted to start off by letting Stephen share a story in his personal life about ways that the body sensations can help with decision making, can help you read a situation when you're walking into a room. There's a million different types of information your body is giving you every single moment.
So I like to start with the beginning where I had no awareness of my body sensations. I had no awareness of pain in the body. I just kept pushing it as in my 20s. I managed to break a knee in yoga because I couldn't feel it's too much. Like I actually tore my meniscus because it was like, it's okay, I can just push. And I got really curious, like, how come I'm not feeling my body? Like, I'm so disconnected from it. And I didn't realize how disconnected I was until I started paying attention to what is happening in my body. And it took breaking a leg to do that. So when I started paying attention to sensations, I was blown away how much is going on in our body without our awareness, at least for me, because I'm too busy thinking and strategizing and being busy with what's next and getting things done. So I ended up going to a meditation retreat for 10 days, and all you do with Vipassana is pay attention to your sensations. It drove me crazy, but I was amazed how much I was able to feel after 10 days of quieting your mind and how many sensations are moving in the body. So now I had this awareness. I didn't know what to do with it, and I took it back to the real life, to the world. And I've noticed an interesting phenomena is that I was able to connect what is happening in my outside world to the sensations in the body. It was really strange. At first, I would have my throat beginning to choke, and I'm like, what is that? What is causing that? And I would feel like when someone is lying to me, my throat starts to contract, and I have like intense sensations right here. I've noticed that my chest would get so tense and like someone is pressuring it, and that is when I'm not supposed to be where I'm at. And if I move away from that room or from the network event or from a business meeting, then it opens up. So I began to develop a relationship with my body and allow my body to inform me through sensations. And it's not always bad things. So, for example, when someone said something that touched me, my whole body will fire up in sweat and heat. Or I'll have goosebumps. Have you ever had goosebumps all over your body? Like you feel whatever was said is true for you. So we developed and we started to develop a whole relationship with our body in a way that informs us about outside environment. And it's happening always in the now. And to do that, you have to be present in the now. I know, Kiri, you have some examples for you as well, right? When you felt sensations that informed you instantly about a decision you need to make.
Absolutely. I think on the last live, I was telling you that I just had a major incident with my body that gave me a huge clue to something that I needed to do that I wasn't paying attention to. And so somebody came into my life recently that hadn't been in my life in quite some time. And it was somebody that for most of my life, I have been giving my power away to. So what happened is the next day I woke up and I literally couldn't move the whole right side of my body. My neck went out, my whole right side of my back went out. And so it was a very quick indication that I was giving my power away. That's what I know that means in my own body, just from paying attention and doing the work now for a while. And so I claimed my power back. It didn't require me going to the chiropractor. It didn't require me going to get a massage. It literally required me having a conversation with that person and dealing with the conflict that I was having, rather than pretending it didn't exist and just wanting to push it away, because now my body is becoming so quick to tell me when I am not in alignment, when I am not paying attention to the sensations, and I'm just kind of wanting to push it away. Oh, I'll deal with that tomorrow. And my body is like, no, we're not dealing with that tomorrow anymore. We're dealing with that in the now, right now. And as soon as I dealt with that, the pain completely vanished. So it's amazing when you start listening to your body, the messages that it has. But each of our bodies has its own language. So like for Stephen was saying, don't lie to him, by the way, because he'll know right away. But his body, for him, and when his throat closes up, that means somebody's lying. Whereas for me, I might feel that in a different way in my body. So you have to start learning your body's particular language and cues for certain things that are happening in your life. Yes, right?
Yes. Yeah, I would like to share with you a quick experience that blew my mind of how sensitive we are as human beings when we're in the right environment. And that was when I was in an open space in South Africa on a walking safari. And you don't have buildings, you don't have noise, you don't have cars, you don't have all the city life for those of you in the city, where our senses get shut down quite a bit. And once you open your sensations to the whole open field, it is amazing how many sensations are alive in the body. And you could feel miles away when an animal is coming to you, miles away. It was like, it's like you're a bionic person. It felt like it, but it's really not. We're all wired to do that. It's a question of how much practice we get to be aware of our sensations and notice how they connect to our outside environment. And everyone is born wired, but awareness takes practice, just like going to the gym or doing yoga. It takes a lot of paying attention. And paying attention when you're busy, go, 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 is very hard to pause and just notice what are you sensing in the moment that can inform you about the meeting you're in. I was in a business negotiation meeting and something was off and my whole body started to react violently and I felt something is off. My hands were hurting. I could feel the heat building up. Something is tight and doesn't feel good. And there's a lot of sensations. My body was in chaos. And I thought, oh, maybe it's something I ate. Maybe I tried to attribute it to something else. It wasn't. It was what was spoken in the meeting that was not true, was not in alignment, and led me to a decision to say no to that business deal. So it's incredible how informative that is if you pay attention to it.
Yeah, so it's so important that we have both kind of, if you want to categorize them as positive or negative, but you have lots of body sensations that are happening all the time. You have kind of the negative ones like the pain and the contraction. And then you also have all of the beautiful positive ones that tell you you are exactly where you're supposed to be when the tears start rolling down because you feel touched or you get the goosebumps or so there's lots of things to be paying attention to, but every single one of those things is giving you a message and helping you to either make a decision or to notice whether you should leave a room or you should stay. But the most important part is not only listening to the body sensations, but then also to trust them and act on them. Just like Stephen was just talking about, it would have been really easy to push it away, attribute it to maybe having something weird for lunch that didn't agree with him. But actually getting to know your body so well that you know that it's not what you had for lunch, but that there's something going on in your environment that is cueing you to make a decision in a certain way. So that requires a lot of practice and getting to know what your own body is saying. So Stephen has an awesome practice that he's going to give you that's going to help you to start really listening to your body so that you start to get to know it really, really well. And you know what each message that's coming to you is saying, as well as how to respond to it.
So I'm going to share with you a quick story of how much fun this could be before we go to the practice.
Yeah.
A while back, I would have a singular hiccup once in a while. I would just go like that, out of nowhere. And I began noticing what word was spoken when I had the hiccup, whether it's my word or someone was speaking to me. And I wrote it down. And by the end of the day, the collection of those hiccup words was a sentence, a full sentence with a message for the day. I was like, oh my God, my body is so awesome. So it is really approaching all of this with curiosity, like, ooh, how is my body talking to me? Like a puzzle, like, what is, and not try to think so much about it, just like notice. And then you'll know, like intuitively, we actually get to know. So the first thing in body sensations is to pause from once in a while and just take a deep breath, close your eyes. You could do it right now if you're not driving or doing a headstand, and feel your sensations. Just notice what's there. And notice if they're moving a lot. Maybe it's one area in your body that is totally on fire, or you're more like a watery feeling, flowing. And next, smile at your sensations, smile at them. It's like your friends, right? So you smile at them like, hello, hello, body sensations. We love you. And notice what's there for you. And it doesn't have to be like this lifetime huge insight, but notice, ooh, yeah, that.
And if you're watching now or on the replay, go ahead and drop them in the comments. I would love to hear some of the sensations that you all are feeling as you're starting to tap in to the awareness of your body. I know that I still feel like a little bit of contraction in my chest. And I know that when I get nervous or kind of like I was feeling a little bit frustrated when this wasn't working the first time. And so my body instantly reacted to that. And now it's starting, now that I'm on here, it's starting to expand. And even as I start to place my attention on it and notice it, even just that begins to change the sensation as well. So as you put your attention on things, it will start to shift and move. It just wants your attention.
Yeah. And if it does begin to move, follow it. Imagine you're on Google Map and you have a moving target and you're just following it. And it's going maybe to your head and maybe down to your heart. Like, notice where are you sensing what you're sensing. And it might not be really strong. It could be very light or gentle. For me, I just noticed that something touched me. My eyes got wet. I'm not sure what that is, but I just noticed it. And I don't always know what that is, and that's okay. But it feels good. Yeah. And then notice if you have a message, anything in the moment. And you might not, that's okay too. So if I'm connecting to a message right now, I feel such gratitude to be able to connect with all of you in this moment. So my body is on fire. I have tingling in my hands. I'm sweating. I'm hot. I'm alive. And that is emerged as I was just sitting with you guys. Nothing is happening where I'm at here. I'm in this lonely conference room. I'm the only one here at the hotel. And notice if you feel aliveness when you are paying attention to your sensations. Maybe you feel pain. Maybe you need to attend to your pain. Maybe there's something in your body, an area that you haven't paid attention to, like the leg that I'm sitting on that says, hey, can you put some less weight on it? Move it aside. I'm like, okay, you got it. And pause for a moment and just see how you feel now. What was it like to just take a few moments of connecting to your sensations in the body? And you can just do this practice, like just what we just did. It's so simple. It doesn't take very long, and sometimes you get nothing, and sometimes you get a lot. And if you're one of those people that are like I used to be, well, I felt nothing. I don't know. I don't get anything. Then that's okay too. You might have a different access point to your intuition, and there might not be sensations today, and maybe sensations will be developed over time as you practice more and more. And speaking of practice, Carrie, would you like to share with them how we are practicing? More in a community sensing?
Yeah. I just want to add one really quick piece to those people, because I do know that sometimes accessing body sensations can be really challenging for people, especially if you haven't ever done it, or if you've had a trauma in your life, or the body doesn't feel like a safe place to be. That even just putting your hand on your arm and just noticing what that feels like. So you can start purposefully trying to feel things by touching an arm and noticing what that feels like, the warmth underneath your hand. So if it's hard for you just to close your eyes and feel what's going on, you can do some practices that help you access that a little bit more easily. But we have a community one day every month on Thursdays. It's going to be the second Thursday of every month, except for August, which is going to be next Wednesday, called Create X, where we have a community of people locally here in the Denver, Boulder, etc. area around Colorado that come together to really start accessing this type of intuition. So each month we will be practicing a specific type of intuition. This month will be body sensation. So how to start accessing that, and when you do, how that helps you access even more, how it helps you access the quantum field, and how each of us is coming into the world with very different experiences and very different perspectives. So when we come together as a group, and we can each see one another in a different light and have our own experience and reflect that in the community, then we have the ability to access something even larger. So it's a great support system if you are wanting to learn more about this type of work and wanting to start accessing not just your thinking mind, but all of your other senses and all of your other abilities, your emotional, energetic, and intuitive intelligences, and to start living your life more from that perspective versus just using your really strong mind that you came into the world with. So that is on August 21st, which is a Wednesday, from 6:15 to 8:45. And I will put the link below, and that will have more details as well as a place to register for tickets. We have a few spots left. So thanks for joining us for our Intuition Lab, and we will be on here every Thursday at 2 p.m. Mountain. I know we were a little late today. Hopefully we have our technology piece down, but we will see you next Thursday. So thanks for joining us.
Yep. Thank you.
Take care.